MC for the people, by the people, and to the people. Citizens movement for change. Oh yes, a new day has come. Yes, a new day has come. Rise up Liberia. CMC for the people. CMC by the people. Let us join our hands together to build a better Liberia. CMC, CMC for the people. CMC by the people. Let us join our hands together to build a better Liberia. Equity, national unity, transparency, accountability, social justice, integrity, CMC core values, CMC global. It is a new day for Liberia. It is a new day for the people. Let's hold together. Let's hold together. It's a unity. Raise up your hands. CMC. The land of liberty, the light of freedom, the love of liberty brought us together. Let's hold together in peace and unity to build a better Liberia. CMC, CMC for the people. CMC by the people. Let's hold together in peace and unity to build a better Liberia. CMC, CMC for the people. CMC by the people. Let's hold together in peace and unity to build a better Liberia. CMC, yes, 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 the time has come.
Well, let me unmute myself. Wow, the panelists are all here, two of the three, and the rest will join us. Let me say a pleasant good day from my end here in Liberia. Uh, Good day to all of our many viewers and followers of our network. It is our pleasure to be back here on today. We are good. On behalf of the entire team, we want to welcome all of you joining us tonight via this platform, and those of you joining us via the radio in Mosurado, in Bangad, and that of Nimba. We are happy to be back here tonight. There's a lot on our table that we'll be talking about. The rest of our panelists will join us during the show, but I'm happy to see Vic. Vic, let me say good day to you. What did you do with the hair?
I cut the hair. It's a black girl magic.
I know, right? Good to see you. I know, right? Good to see you. And how's the day going?
Wonderful. Thanks for asking.
Okay. Mr. Nangwe, how are you today?
Mr. Toby, how are you, my brother? It's good to see you. And
yeah.
Madam Chair, it's good to see you as well. Let me also say what's up to our audience. Thanks for joining us. Good to be here.
Okay, so we expect Dr. Nyan to join us along the way. We hope he's going to be here tonight. But we look a little bit loaded tonight. But before we start, as usual, it's always good to go around our individual plate to see how we all started today and what are some of the issues that has been of concern to us. They can know the Thanksgiving has gone now and it's over. We into the new month. How did the new month start? December 1, December 2? How is this starting with you? How is the month of December starting?
I would say wonderful, and I would also say November wasn't a bad month at all. I I kind of enjoy every aspect of it, every part of it. And the new month started good. I see progress all across from Liberia with our movement, the CMC. I see a lot of testimony everywhere in the villages and in Maserado, everywhere. Testimony about what our political leader is doing. I mean, December is a good month, and I look forward to January too.
Okay.
And
So
yeah, yeah,
yes, go
and
ahead,
I
Vic.
also see growth. I smell growth. I see growth, especially in the U.S. area and I would say everywhere, everywhere. So I'm not going to disclose what is happening actually behind closed door, but I feel good about CMC.
You feel
Yeah.
that's nice to see you talk about the CMC. Mr. Nangbe, we're in the month of December now. This is the last month of the year. We are happy to be at this point. But how is it? How are you seeing the month of December? How is it going?
I think this December is. I agree with the chair lady. I think December is leading off where November left us, and I agree with her. I think that we're seeing, astronomical growth as well, and I think even though we usually get the analytics come out, I think at the end of every quarter or so. So I think they're coming up, but I'm almost certain they will show a very good bounce. From October, November, going into December. We're seeing some opinion leaders also coming in, and opinion leaders also come, with certain policy, a certain constituents with them, and so we're very excited about this. We'll continue to work. We're not going to get complacent. We know we started late. We have an uphill climb. We get out of that, and that is why we work every day. She will tell you, Smith. I mean, we're meeting almost 2, 3 times a day, and she knows how much. We're not bragging, we're just saying it because it is the fact, and so. But we'll continue to push. We're excited about where we are, and we think we're embracing November, December, trying to end the year, on a bang, and we're very excited about where we are.
Very excited. We here as well. We're very excited. The month of December, we are closing into the festive season now. The Christmas is just knocking the door. At this time of the year, people are preparing their homes with decoration and are preparing to share gifts with family members and friends. I know at this time as well, around the world, it's a time that people will have more visitation, more requests from family back home, and a whole lot. So I know that the tables around the world looks very engaging right now, and it's happy that we can all see December, and we hope to close the year on a very good note. And we are happy that this team is making a very huge progress as we move on. So today seems to be a very important day, as usual in the CMC. We will go around our CMC conversation, and then we'll move on to some of the national issue. There's a lot taking place in the national discourse that we want to talk about tonight. But from the CMC standpoint, like Vic rightly said, the progress, the conversation around the CMC, the political leader, his engagement seem to be um, remarkable. People are knocking on our doors. People are walking into our party headquarters daily. People are doing volunteer registration. The discussion in the country as we speak politically is about the CMC fit in the coming election in 2029. And what we are hearing, if the momentum around the party structure, the party drive for development, if it is being sustained up to 2028 or 2027, I'm sure it's going to be a very competing force for the other parties in the country. And that is why the political leaders seem to be getting out his comfort zone, making sure that the party can identify the people across the country. He was up in Nima doing the November 29 holiday in his district and beyond his district, getting involved into individual conversation, organization debate, and organization conversation, making intervention where necessary. So I think from where we sit as a political party that is barely 9 months or 8 months old, the name of the CMC seems to be ringing bells, not just in the metropolitan of Mosorado, but in the interior of the country. People are yearning for the CMC. People are opting to see the CMC agenda, the new agenda, the development agenda, the progress, and there's a lot in our closet. Every time you talk to the political leader, he tells you his plan and how he intends to set the CMC second to none in all the other political parties in the country. So we are doing very strong back home, and our approach seems to be gaining more momentum. I'm sure on that note, I will ask you, Mr. Nangbe, to come in and give us your fair appreciation as to a political party that is just 7 to 8 months old. And our discussion now is in the public. Every day we on the news, we in the developmental conversation, we in the political space, and we've been talked about as compared to some of the old age political parties. How do you feel about that?
No doubt, Mr. Tobe. I mean, besides all that we're doing, the projects and thing we're doing, the recruitment and thing we're doing, the political leader Musa Zambelete has become the voice of the opposition. I mean, he set the pace for opposition reaction to the budget, and now we've had other members of the opposition, and we thank them that they're joining the chorus, to react to the national budget. And now he's also leading the fight to make sure that the hearings are conducted right in the legislature. The Senate trying to jump on the budget before the House does, and so he sounded the warning. And so, yes, I think this is what people have been yearning for an opposition. A very viable, very responsible opposition, not going in the streets and blocking this smooth move flow of traffic and all of that. No, you constructively engage the government, and you continue to lead the opposition. And I think the CMC is doing that. We're playing that role, and we're glad that others are joining in. But that is what we're doing. And so, yes, I mean, almost everywhere you go now, and the government itself is not helping the situation. I think the feeble attempt to stop us in Bong, the construction of that bridge, I think that unintentionally gave us a lot of free press as well. And you know what? We are happy to take it. But yes, we'll continue to, like we said earlier, we'll continue to push. We'll force the issue. The government people will not like it, but we'll force the issue because the government is for and by the people. The president of the Republic of Liberia is employed by the people of the Republic of Liberia. He's not taking his paycheck from his farm. So when the president even travels, he has a responsibility to come back to us and report what it is that he went for. What did he do? That is not happening, and we intend to force the issue. There are things that a government, a responsible government, is supposed to do, and we're not going to be silent on these. And so the CMC continues to sound the warning wherever we think the government is wrong footing, and we'll take it to them. We will call them out. We will make sure the right thing is done. So right now, the budget battle is on, and we will continue to insist that they do the right thing. The political leader has already, notified the speaker that the process must be done right. And I'm sure we'll talk about this in detail. But the Constitution clearly lays it out. The budget must originate, it must begin from the House, not the Senate and the House hopping on it at the same time. No, it didn't say concurrently or concomitantly. it has to start back from the house. So what they're doing in the Senate Momo, they got to cut it out, And so I'll put it back to you, Mr. Sylvia, and Sandolo. Right now,
All right.
the CMC is, I believe, is doing what brought some of us on board to join the CMC. The voice of the opposition, the voice of the voiceless. That's the role we're playing right now.
Thank you for sure. I think we are setting the stage, and that is why we are in the debate in every sector of the country. We are not just being debated upon the rule issue. We are in every sector of the conversation. Now we have again brought a very big conversation in the country that many political actors have reneged on talking about. Like you read the reference, we've once again reopen a conversation around the national budget. But Vic, let me come to you. You're just by affiliating with a political party that is just 7-8 months, and the party is not going to bear, is always in the news. The political leader is doing letters on issue. He's raising issue in the space of his work as a district representative. We're holding the government feet to the fire. We're introducing a new dynamic in the ballot politics of our country. We are becoming a talking point in every quarter, every town, every village, even places where we are yet to reach. People are yearning for the CMC. How do you feel about being a part of a family that is just 7 or 8 months? But you are being talked about in the form and manner you are hearing about your political institution.
Okay, thank you so much. Just before I say anything, I read a comment in the section that says there's no sound. So can we ask the audience if they can hear us now and see and get an answer? Somebody said no
Yeah.
sound. Jean,
So,
yeah, Jean
so I
Papi
don't
said no
know.
sound.
Maybe we need to check. The producers in the back can counter check, but I'm sure we can be going on at that point. Maybe it'll get corrected.
Someone is saying great sound.
Okay,
By NDS
yeah, great
shipping.
sound. We got it. We
Yeah,
got it.
so it
Okay.
looks like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
there is
Check your
sound.
sound. Check
Maybe
your
that was from
sound.
the initial stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do see
Yeah.
the new president PP. I think Jane PP was saying no sound. So
Right.
yeah. So Jane, let
Yeah.
us know if you still can't get the sound.
So go
Okay.
ahead, Vic.
Yeah, so yeah, you say how do I feel about the CMC being very new breath, how things is going on. This is I have never seen this before. I will tell you for free or for fact that the CMC is doing extremely well. It being new with what I'm seeing, we have 3 years to go, and within 7 months, 6 to 7 months, the progress that I'm seeing, not only the progress that we are making, the effect, the how we are impacting the Liberian people, things that the political leader is doing, the project that we are undertaking, the things that he's picking. Like I said the last time, he will pick every important things and bring it on board. I'm seeing the way he collaborating. I see this man plead, telling other opposition, hey, it's not about this person or who was there. Let's come together and talk this out and point this out and blow this trumpet that things, Liberian message, things is not fine in Liberia. Let's come together and tell the United Party what they are doing, how Liberians are suffering. He's pleading, he's calling, he's collaborating. That's what I see he do. And that's what you can do in order to win any office. You cannot, I don't care how powerful you are, you cannot do anything on your own when you don't engage other people. This man is selfless. Our political leader is selfless. And he actually empowering the whole entire team like that. And we not that we don't talk, we saying things are happening that are not happening right. But in the meantime, we are conscious of our of other opposition that hey, we have one goal. The goal is Liberia is not fine right now. Liberia is going through it. Liberia is suffering, no jobs, um, no food on people's table. People are sleeping hungry. So let us come together and say this. Let us come together and make this, make sense to the Liberian people or to the government. So the CMC is not just building. I know we are doing our thing, we are progressing. I see what we are doing. And a lot of people are interested. Liberian people mindset are changing. Liberian people now believing in results because of the CMC. Look
Yeah.
at what happened in Bon County. But that bridge is when I knew that Liberian people are only out for development and results. Liberian people want result, they want development. So we are doing good both area. Either way, we are collaborating. We are reaching out. We are telling people, hey, let's talk about this. Hey, this is not right. Come on. And with the issue about the budget, that the PE also raised, it's the same thing. He's saying, hey, guys, this need to reach to the House of Representatives before it reach the Senate. We have to talk about it. He went to the Constitution. He's not just he's saying this thing based on facts. He's reading articles. He's reading what he know, what he learned. That this is based on this facts. If this should be done this way, it should be done the right way. Let us try and do it the right way. So the CMC is doing so good. If you ask me again, over and over, I feel good about this party that I'm part of. I feel really good. And I feel successful. Let me say this. I feel successful. Sometimes people say, oh, you in Liberia, I heard people say, oh, I don't want to go to college because I don't care how you go to college. When you graduate, you don't get a job. So what's the point? Just by going to college, it makes you feel successful already that you are learning. So the stage I am right now, I already feel successful. And I've already feel successful for the CMC. So we are doing good. We are progressing, and I like that. Thank you.
That sound very good, Vic. And that's the feeling we all carry, with us, and we take it as a burden, looking at the country and looking at the political space, owing to the fact that a new party making very huge progress, and there's a lot that we will unleash in the coming months and the weeks ahead for the Liberian people in the new year, based on what we've been talking in our respective meetings. The CMC will remain very, very viable, sustainable, making sure that those commitments here and there, our intervention will indeed continue. But let's stay with the budget issue that I'll come to you now, Mr. Nangwe, because this is the current trending conversation in the country. We all know very well that the House of Representatives is where budget conversation starts. That is the reason why when the budget is being formulated by the executive, it's being presented to the Speaker of the House of Representatives, because the Speaker is the head of the House of Representatives, not the Liberian Senate. But this time around, surprisingly, we're seeing the Senate proceed with budget hearing, why the House of Representatives is yet to either comment or to have conversation around the budget. Our politicians have been sitting, no one seemed to have developed interest in that conversation until Honorable Mustard Hassan Belete raised the issue. Now it has become an issue of expert opinion, and we're hearing lawyers speak about it. We're hearing claims and counterclaims. The concurred power that is within the House of Senate or the Senate is given to them constitutionally, and the provision in our constitution that says all financial instruments should emanate from the House of Representatives is at this stage being overlooked. And Honorable Benedict thinks that is wrong. They should rather put a halt and revert, and it has now become a national conversation. How have you been reading some of the off and on conversation with the budget issue, and how strong you think is the point raised by honorability?
Well, from what I'm, the opinions that I'm sampling, social media and all over the place, I think Senator Dillon is on his own. His alleged attempt to educate Musa Hassan Ability, I think can be described, like I said, somewhere else, as a miseducation. The law is very clear. Um, the law stipulates that the budget, such instruments as the budget, must come, must emanate, as you said, or originate. Originate is to begin, to start. It must come from the house, and that is all. And this is not just a matter of, procedural. It doesn't, it's not a big deal. No, no. This is the reason why we have laws. We have constitution. These are the guardrails that guide us. If you remove them, we have chaos. You know,
Mhm.
it's not because the constitution said you must have a quorum to remove a speaker, and we did not have a quorum. And yes, the government sanctioned that illegal act, and so now they are normalizing illegality. The law is very clear. The budget must originate from the House. The Senate has absolutely no business near the budget at this moment until the budget originates from the House. So what Senator Dillon and others are doing can only be described as an attempt to get their chopping on the table before the Christmas season. They're in a hurry. I don't understand. Besides that, I don't understand any other reason, any other motivation. What is the rush? This is a very, very huge document that must be taken with all the seriousness it deserves. And so I have listened to several speakers on this matter, lawyers. I read the expose by Councilor Garrison Yellow. He's very clear that
Mhm.
the Senate, yeah, the process that the Senate will undertake, there is a prerequisite to that. And prerequisite, those of all of us who've gone to college, we know what a prerequisite is. You cannot move to another step until you tackle the prerequisite. And the prerequisite is that the budget must originate from the House. So Senator Dillon needs to go back and read that piece. He needs to take a seat and sit down and rest a little bit. He has a lot of work to do. Then budget work. Then go and do other stuff. That other stuff he's supposed to be tackling. Let him go and tackle his salary reduction bill that, I understand there was an uproar today in the Senate. He wants to finally cut the salary to $5,000. And I allowed that. I think it's a
We'll
good
talk
effort.
about that.
And
Mhm.
let him go and spend some time on that. Build support, like Ms. Sandulu is saying. In these houses, everything moves with consensus. You have to be able to build support on the ground before you can move. He should know that. So let him go and rally support to decrease the salary. That's a good effort. But this budget business, I think he really misunderstanding the whole thing. And I think he got it wrong. He got it really wrong. He needs to sit down, take time, and learn this thing again, come back. The argument he's making is flawed. The argument is a flawed argument. I think Musa Ability is onto this. I mean, he has been supported by scholars, constitutionally, lawyers, everybody is telling. That is the process. And it is not just forget about it. No, that is the process laid out by law. We have to learn to work within the law. What is the law? And that is what Musa is always asking. What does the law say? The law says the process must begin from the House. There's no point in sending hijacking this. Absolutely not. So I'm very disappointed with Senator Dillon.
Okay, so let me come to you, Vic. We know that this government has struggled when it comes to holding on to the rule of law. We've seen a lot of violation. We've seen a lot of different things on our book that the government should be holding. They failed on that. There have been calls, from the citizens of the country for the government to abide by the rule of law of our country. There have been series of violation, glaring. They've some of the laws in our country that resulted into different claims and counterclaims. At this point, are we all sure that the conversation around this budget is going to be a conversation that the government of the day will listen? Because at the Liberian Senate, those who are discussing the budget are individuals who are being who found themselves in the government space, but within the Liberian Senate. Is the government going to listen? You think it's just going to be a conversation that we can raise and say, okay, yes, it's wrong, but is going to continue. How do you see it? Vic, your mic is off. Please unmute.
It just actually reminded me. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
please go
First,
ahead.
I would like to start from Dylan's response.
Mhm.
Dylan responded to our political leader Musa Hassan Bediti. I will first of all say that there's no way in the world you are educating somebody and say, let me educate you. And then you start with, let me educate you. I feel it was harsh. I feel he lost the sense of constructive criticism that we all, learn down the line. Even if you want to disagree with somebody, you cannot start with, let me educate you. This is an educated person. Starting with, it's a fight. I see they don't is doing a lot of good things. I get it. He says it sometimes when it's going wrong in the Senate. He's the only person that usually do that. But that was very, very, you know, out of conduct to start a conversation like that, or to talk to somebody of dignity like, oh, let me educate you, knowing very well that what you're about to say is not even the right way to put it. I will first condemn him. When Mr. Yelu, Garrison Yelu, Honorable Yelu, when he responded to Dillon, did you see his open write up? He first of all praised him. He gave him some praises, and he constructively said things that he has done, that he advocated for, that he's doing good before the disagreement. And the way in which he expressed the disagreement was very unique. That's how when people are educated and want to educate another person, that's what we from the outside, those are the things we read in write-ups that tell us how intelligent people are. So that's the first thing I would say. Second, Delon, I feel that he was sent, he usually do stuff on your own and staying alone, but I think he's an agent. Like Mr. Langwe said, just because in the past we have a speaker when we didn't meet quorum, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't say it when it's wrong. Some people will say, oh, you're wasting your time. You guys are wasting your time. But at the end of the day, the government was still, they would still manipulate. Just because the government is the manipulating system, it doesn't mean we shouldn't say what the right thing is. And what I think they're trying to do is send it alone because they want to silence Musa Hassan Bediti. This man has been on them. He's the only one that will, he's not the only one, but he's one person that will actually say the way it is. He's one person that will actually see the logic. He's one person that will actually say, let's put her to this. Let's compromise. And he's not using authority. He's using compromises. He's saying, hey, let's put her to this, and let's look at it this way. I think the Constitution is saying this, and then we are doing something different. So if they say it should originate with the House of Representatives, that means it should come to the House first. It's clear. I actually read about it today, and like Mr. Langman said, a lot of people have been making references to that. So that's what I see. It's a tactic. You're no unity party. It's a tactic to actually silence Musa Hassan Bediti or any other representative whenever they want to, put her to something, or when they point out something that is not right. They are very good. They are very good at doing that. So I would say, be it the outcome, the future outcome, we should still go for it. We should still point out what is not right. The PL are encouraging to go for that. A lot of people has his back. We all have his back. That the right thing be done. We don't want to know what's the outcome. This manipulative outcome, we don't want to know about it. But the right should be done. The right thing should be done. Is what we're concerned about. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nangbe. So let's talk about it. That is in our view as citizens of the country. Let Honorable Musa Bedete raise the issue. The government has a choice to either take it or leave it, like they have done to many other constitutional issues. Are we just wasting time on a conversation that at the end of the day will be overlooked, and people will want to grandstand, like Vic rightly said, Honorable DeLong, in his arrogant, will want to teach somebody something that is constitutional, and of course, uh, you know, knowing very well that he carries a power constitutionally in the branch of government that he works for that says you will concur. So
Right.
after we shall have done our work, we'll send that work to you, in your space, and you can concur or decide to not concur with the job we do. But it is not possible for you to do the work and then send it to us. The House of Representatives doesn't carry a concurrent authority. So when you send it back to the House of Representatives, what are they really going to do with it? So this issue has been raised, and for someone to say, "Let me teach you, let me educate you," to his fellow lawmaker, besides being a senator, ability is also a reputable representative of the people of District 7. He's
Right.
also a political leader. And the good thing about it, the same man who groomed DeLong was the same person that also helped to groom Mr. Musa Hassan Belete, the late
Right.
TC Group. So Mr. Belete
Correct.
told him, said, "But how have you forgotten what TC taught us?
That's right.
And why are you grandstanding on a constitutional issue that is clear? It is written in black and white. Are we just grandstanding? Are we just going to talk about it and we're going to let it go, Mr. Nangbe?"
No, look, in Liberia, we say he tried, but he not make it. Dylan tried, but he not make it. This is a distraction. Now, what Dylan is doing is a distraction. There are real, very substantive and significant issues with this budget. There's a lot of flawed assumptions that have been made in this budget. Even the chairman on the Ways and Means of the Liberian House of Representatives has indicated that there are assumptions that are made in that budget that are they are unattainable. It is impossible. For instance, they have a 10 million out there that is supposed to generate from the asset recovery commission. How much money have they recovered in their since their existence? So there are real
Mhm.
significant issues with the budget, and I think this is a distraction to start a conversation and get us tied up into a conversation about the budget as opposed to debating the budget, which is supposed to again begin from the House of Representatives. And the CMC has we've already made our reaction to the budget. We pointed out areas that we think deserve a lot more of funding and attention. I'll give you an example. The agriculture budget, which is one of the pillars of this government, arrest the arrow in that arrest. One of those arrows for what agriculture, and the A is let me not turn it around. But let me the agriculture is one of the pillars in the budget, is what I mean to say. But if you look at the funding that is in the budget for agriculture, uh, $13.6 million. The government officials, the top five government officials, the president, the vice president, the pro tem, the deputy speaker, all of them combined, they're taking almost $15 million. So their take-home pay alone, their allotment in the budget is more than that for agriculture for the entire country, for the
Mhm.
entire country, for the entire country. And if you look at the expenditure, the alternative they call it, we spent over $200 million to import rice. What sense does that make? We're putting aside $13.6 million for agriculture, but we're going to be spending $200 million to import rice. So the CMC is arguing that we had a one-time shot coming from a Salamita of $200 million. Instead of increasing the allotment for the speaker's office, the president of it, the vice, increasing all of these people, giving them more money. Why don't we take this money and set it aside for agriculture? Set up a cooperative bank where farmers will go and get loan and empower them. So you end up producing more food and you generate more money because these people are going to put a little bit of interest on this money. You grow the money. That would be
Mhm.
a more prudent way to spend this $200 million because it's a one-shot deal. So those are some of the observations that people are making. Those are some of the things that we expect to put forth and debate about this budget. But they don't want us to do it. They want us to get tied up into knots about, what is a proper procedure, what is not a proper procedure. No, since he made his write-up, the only thing the political leader said was, just like you say, querying, hey, Dylan, did you not learn what TC Good taught us? And he was done with that. He wrote his letter. I think he's going to follow up with this letter with the speaker. He will make sure that what is expressed in that letter, comes to fruition. And that's what we're about. We want this budget brought back to the House and put on the floor and taken apart and reappropriated in a way that reflects the hopes and aspirations of our people. Right now, as it is, it isn't. This is a chopping show that they're on, and we're going to stop it. And they shouldn't take the CMC for granted. What we are talking here, we're going to follow through. This chopping show is not, we would derail it. We would not allow it to happen. So Senator Dillon, we understand what he's doing. He wants to bring, and bring Fiamomo in the thing, and we'll wash our faces, wash our faces, and then before you know it, the budget finish passing and all of that. No, it's not going to happen. And so I hail the CMC. I'm very happy that I'm on this side for once, for a very long time. I'm on the fighting side for the, for justice, and equity for our people. I'm very excited about this, and I thank the CMC for this. Somebody has to speak for our people, and the CMC is doing that. We're very excited about that.
Thank you. Thanks to the both of you for giving us your take on that subject matter. I'm sure is a conversation that is continuing. Every day there's a new twist to that particular debate. It is stayed in the public space. It is not one of the many conversation that comes during the day and is going to flip off the next day. I know as of tomorrow, there will be more expert opinion on that debate with the budget, because the budget itself is still being debated at the level of the Liberian Senate. But there's something of concern today that took place in Bombing County that I want to talk about it. The president decided to host his 8th cabinet meeting. That meeting took place in Bombing County at the president villa or home there in Bombing. It was a working section, according to them, and there's been several write-outs coming from the retreat. There was issue about the rule of law that were being discussed. There were issues about police wearing the badges they carry should not be considered as a hunting licenses to break the law. There was issue on job creation. There was conversation on corruption. There were conversation on youth rehabilitation. But the president and his cabinet, the vice president, including other members, have also stressed what we've all talked about in our space. The creation of jobs remains a major priority, noting that the Liberian people are trained and ready to work. They ask the ministry and agency to make sure that that component can be handled, with some urgency. They are now telling us that they've done nothing in terms of job creation, and that is a fight. That is nothing to put an icing on it. It was a cabinet discussion, and I'm sure besides the job creation, the issue of corruption and rule of law seem to be a very challenging issue for the Buakai's administration. Let me start with you, Vic, because I'm sure that you may have gotten some snippets from that cabinet meeting, but they are now saying where they sit as a government, and they're failing the Liberian people because there's no job. They haven't created no job. There's no statistic that show of job creation under the administration of the Boaka Kun administration. Let me have your take on this.
Thank you so much. I kind of listened to it a little bit on Spoon Talk, actually. when they showed the video, but I didn't have the chance to watch the whole entire video. But again, one thing I took from there that I'm going to take with me is the president recognized the problem. The VP recognized the problem, which is a good thing. Now that they both admitted that there is a job problem, job creation problem, it's a good thing. Because we have been saying it, people have been saying it, and there's a word called rescue puppets. And the rescue puppets don't see anything wrong with it. They don't admit to that. They don't see that there's job creation problems. They don't see that there's the unemployment rate is that hard. They don't see anything like that. But their leaders, that's what making me happy about that whole situation about the speech. The president, your president have admitted that there is a job issue. Your VP has said the same thing. And then again, it's very proactive for them to recognize that there is a problem or the shortcoming, because when there's no job, it's their shortcoming. Recognizing your shortcoming is not a bad thing. But what after you have recognized that is what we need to be talking about. Now you know there's job issues. What are you doing? First of all, what did you do to cause that problem? Go back and see what did you do wrong, or what are you not doing right that caused the problem that people are suffering. I saw a group of people saying in my country, we don't want GB, we want job. Doing the GB rally, for the
GB festival.
yeah, in my country, people were saying we don't want GB, we want job. You know how many times we've been starting GB? I started GB my whole life. Sometimes I started GB without rice until the next day. We don't want GB, we want jobs. So now that the puppets have listened to the leaders, and the leaders are saying, yes, we have a shortcoming, and that you all know, you and I know it's not one shortcoming. It's not only that. There's more to the story. It's a good thing, but what can they do to work on it? What another thing that they will recognize that they didn't do right that caused this problem, or what are they not doing? I see that the Liberian government is not collaborating. This government is selfish. This government does not seek help. All of these things, that the last time we were on here, I said it, same thing. I'm like, nobody expects the government to employ everybody. It's not going to work. Why have you seen that before? It's not going to work. But are they collaborating with other private sectors? Are they collaborating with businesses and entrepreneurs and to create jobs? Are they doing that? If we are in the US, our president travel a lot. He comes to the US, he go to Europe, he go this, he go that, and he travel and just come back, and then no good news. It's a Papa Nakan, but we enter plastic bag. So all the time the president is traveling, do you want to tell me in this US, listen to pick your phone up and try to call 611 for me? I'm with T-Mobile phone service. Call 611 or call any other customer service line. They need the accent you're gonna hear. Usually 80% will never be American accent. It will always be the Indian's accent. Oh man, can I help you? These people are sitting in there and they're working. Liberia, that our president speak good English, a good English speaking country president, Liberia. When we speak the Americans, we are most likely for the Americans to grab our accent or understand us better than the Indian people that can be on the customer service line. Don't you think young people supposed to be in Liberia and working? That we will call customer service as Liberian accent when we are English speaking? Indians are in India working into the US. With all the travel people are traveling, what are they doing? What are they collaborating? What are they doing, talking about? All these things can make jobs, it can create jobs in your country. So there are a lot to work on. Not as I will commend them for recognizing the shortcoming, but do something now that you know. Do something I didn't do right. Thank you.
thank you, Vic. A very strong point. But let me hear what Mr. Nangbe will say about the government itself recognizing as part of their shortcoming in the words of Vic, the issue of job creation. So we know it is something factual besides the salamita and the money industry that we find in our country. There's nothing much in terms of job creation. There's no data, showing us where are the jobs, where are they being created. The government seems to be the biggest employer. Everyone seems to be working in the government space. The private sector is squeezed. So the government have realized that there's a lot to be done in creating job. What is your take on that? Please unmute yourself, Mr. Nangbe.
I'm sorry. I read the cabinet meeting readout by the government today, and almost like you said earlier, about a month now. Within a month, this government would have been in office for about 2 years. Today, they're telling us they are now creating a national employment acceleration strategy. Strategy. So, a strategy is a plan, right? That is not an execution of anything. So, they haven't found a solution yet on job creation.
That
And they
means they even came to power without a strategy on job creation.
without one.
Mhm.
And this unity party, they been in power 12 years ago, and then they were in opposition. They were the lead opposition another 6 years. That 18 years of sitting down and planning on how to rule the country, and you came into power. So that 18 plus another 2 years is 20 years, and you still haven't found a suitable strategy for job creation. You're going to spend a whole day of cabinet meeting to come out and issue a one pager on is trying to identify or to accelerate a strategy for job creation. What does that say about the government? We're in trouble. We're in trouble. And like Vicky is saying, this government should be creating the conditions that will create jobs. Take this money you're traveling all over the place with, put it in the bank, create the conditions, create soft loans for our people, empower them. Our people are not lazy. They just don't have the means to create jobs. They don't have the funding. People burning charcoal, you can help them, give them money to buy power or whatever it is. People running keke, give them money to buy two, three, four more keke, and they will pay you back in the process. There, more people are being created. There are lots of ways you can. But this government has not found a way. I don't think they're serious. They're talking about building headquarters, in 15 counties. That is the priority right now. That is our priority. Talk about being out of touch and tone deaf. So yeah, I read a readout from the cabinet meeting. We're in trouble because up to now, if we haven't found a way to create jobs and empower our people and employ our people, we're in trouble. My friends tell me you go to the bank to get a loan, you almost pay 75% on interest. You know, how
Mhm.
how are you expected to grow anything out of that? You know, so yeah, this government they came into power to rescue. Remember, when you come to rescue, what is implied in that is there is an emergency. How can you be rescuing people 2 years going? You haven't rescued them yet. I mean, I'm really blown away by this lack of urgency. I don't know if it is lack of efficiency, lack of competence. I don't know, but it just seems like there is not a sense of urgency to rescue our people. They want to jolly around the place. You get on flight, on charter jet, you fly here, you come back. This president is taking on average a trip per month. Almost every month he's out of the country. All of that money that is being spent on traveling, and we don't know what he's looking for because he doesn't tell us anything. We are lucky if he grants two, three questions interview on the tarmac. He never says anything. He never says anything, even though he's riding and dining on the taxpayers' money. He doesn't report. He doesn't feel obligated to us to report anything. He leaves the country and goes everywhere. He comes back with nothing, and you don't dare ask them. When you ask them, then right now they on snow, because when they do bombing, instead of tackling the bread and butter issue, they're trying to raise money for headquarters building. So the whole failed attempt to fundraise, like Vicky was in the Dumbo rally, the marching up and down Banga, and Moe is in trouble, right? Josiah Marvin Cole is going to kick his rear end. He's in trouble. You know, he paraded the whole Banga, got $11,000. They don't want us to talk about it. They want us to talk about Snow's commenting, bombing everywhere. They're writing all over the place, brand butter. Who cares about what Snow said? Deliver the promises that you made to our people. That is the issue. They don't want to talk about that. So I saw the write-up. I was really disappointed. You know, 2 years, spent a whole day talking, and you just came out with a one-pager to talk about an accelerated employment strategy. That is it. That is it. Where are the yellow machines? Where is no car getting stuck in the mud? What was the dependence for which that statement was made? You understand me? I don't want to say reckless because I respect the old man. He's an elder. But that was a reckless statement. Whoever advised him, 90 days, no car will get stuck in the mud. Look at the pictures and photos people have all over social media. Everybody is showing that vehicles getting stuck in the mud. To tell the president, Mr. President, you got it wrong. You got it wrong. And so this is our trouble. This is where we are.
Okay, so I'm sure, Vic, you are nodding your head on some of the strong points Mr. Nangwed is putting forth. If you want to add to that, then I will bring in another line from the meeting today.
Yeah, so I just noted because he said that he didn't address anything that has to do with the yellow machine, the cars, getting stuck in the mud, because he failed. That was your probational period. You failed during your probational period. You said 90 days this will happen, it didn't happen. That's a failure. And I don't think too many people like to talk about a failure. So Mr. Lambert, they have realized, he have recognized that he failed during that period. So maybe that's why he didn't talk about it, because he has nothing to say about it. He has nothing to address. That's what I was noting. Thank you.
Okay, so let me stay with you, Vic, because in that meeting on today in Liberia, at that cabinet meeting, the president also made reference, reaffirming his tough stance on corruption. Again, the issue on corruption is in the ambit of the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, and the cabinet through the president thought that all the cases with the LCC should be handled without delay. And of course, he warned that delay create mistrust and undermine the national progress. Corruption in Liberia, for me, I think is a societal thing. I remember when former President Salif came to power, she was strong on corruption. She took it from one stage, she ended it in a cancerous stage. She left her administration. Former President Weah came. The issue of corruption was also a difficult thing to tackle. Now the Bwagan administration thinks that they are doing well, but again, it's still a challenge. And today he took some time to reaffirm his government, stance on corruption, even though his ministers and officials are building condominium in darkness, not knowing where those monies are coming from. They are not visiting the construction site in the day, but rather they are going to those construction sites in the night, so that the community will not know who's building those structures. But corruption seems to be a very difficult thing for any government to handle. What's the take, Vic?
The government is corrupt. So now tell me, how can they even fight corruption? The budget, our recent budget, is corrupt. The whole budget was manipulated. It's compromised. We already know who are in the interest. The budget is in the interest of certain people. It's clear. And I don't know, because one member was fired and accusing them of corruption, and then brought back another member of the same family. Is that what we call fighting corruption? That we all don't know what happened? Somebody is trying to fix somebody is trying to fix what is poor during our senatorial election that passed in Nima County. So that's the only thing I've seen when they say the government, sack somebody because the person was corrupt. but there have been no press statement as to what this person do. We all know the game. We all know what has been manipulated. We all know I'm taking this person there to put this person there to fix what I spoiled in the past in my county. So I don't see how are somebody needs to help me. Maybe I don't know how had they been fighting corruption, or how good has it been for them fighting corruption. So because every Liberian right now is crying from corruption from this government. So I don't. It's not one of the stronger point. I mean, stronger, yeah, stronger point or stronger side. The government is corrupt. Everybody's saying the government corrupt. Yeah, everything leading towards towards the interest of the government, and not the interest of the Liberian people. So again, I don't see the strength there. I don't see any strength there. I see that the government continue to be more corrupt and corrupt while our Liberian people die, while our Liberian people. Come on, example, look at what happened in Bon County with the bridge building with Musa Hassan building. Didn't you see that big exposure that this government is corrupt? The government is corrupt. Things that they expected Musa Hassan to do, or the CMC political leader to do, they have never done it anywhere. That's just manipulating the system. And when you manipulate the system, that's being corrupt. No accountability. We have 10 million on structure in 4 years up to today. The president is telling us that we're not entitled as Liberian to know who is building he's telling us it's nobody's business. And we don't have right to know what our building is about, or who owns the building. And then they're talking about, I don't see the strength in that. And that's one of the weaknesses. That's what I would say. And I will stop here. But when it comes to corruption, I don't want to go because I'm already irritated for this government. Thank you.
I see you. I see your blood boiling, and I can tell from your face is getting red. And it's just talking about corruption with the government. But let me come to Mr. Nangbe, because this issue of corruption, we see window dressing. We call it here. 1 minute, people being chased, profess to be fighting corruption. But again, on the overall, to reaffirm your stance on corruption, and on the contrary, we are looking for the owner of a project in Foya that is yet to be identified. Even the figure is being assumed just by Liberians that is around 10 million. Where is that money coming from? Who are the financiers for that project? But the president said he want to reaffirm his stance on corruption. He want the LCC to handle it without delay. But we are looking in FOIA, and there's no identity to a huge project, and monies for that project, from where it comes, no one knows it. But this is the government is telling us about corruption. What is your take?
Yeah, they say, show me, your deeds, and I know, what you're up to. The expressions that this government is making, all the talk, is not being matched, by the deeds. That project in Lofa is a black mark, a stain on this government's record. This president, a lot of people, talk about him being a man of integrity and all of that, but that is something they have to explain. That's an albatross that is still hanging on their necks, and then Viggy talked about all of these cases of corruption all over the place, these people being suspended, some of them suspended and replaced without investigation, with no restitution, no attempt at restitution. I mean, talk about the MCSS case, talk about the LRRC case, talk about Lofa University, talk about the Bank of Liberia, where they fired Talo prematurely, and they pay him behind doors and all that. So it's really very difficult to put your finger anything that we can say this government has done and done well. Fight against corruption, Fia Momo. Go against corrupt former officials, government, Fia Momo. Create jobs for our people, Fia Momo. Deliver on the bread and butter issues. Nothing is happening. But yeah, this government, I mean, you just need to wake up in the morning and read the papers, the stories upon stories upon stories of corruption. They say the president takes his own time. I mean, look at the LTA, what's his name, Kamara, Abu, or whatever his first name is. The guy,
Abdullah.
Abdullah Kamara, you know, the president received an investigation report. Based on that, he fired several members of the commission, and this man was a part of the team that was investigated, and yet he promoted that man to officer in charge, and he was there for almost a year before he finally decided to take action against him. Even then, they court cleared him. He's right now he's a free man. You know,
Mhm.
so the contradictions. What is spoken and what is done. The two of them don't match. And then our people are not stupid. They're looking. They're watching and they're seeing the disappointment. They're feeling it. They're seeing how this government is failing to deliver on the promises made. They're enriching themselves. Patreon and other being the news is generator gets more money than some real mid-level government employees are taking home. How is this possible? How is this happening? This is what it came to power to help us, eradicate. But we don't see them doing that. They if anything, they're doing something in many cases worse than what the previous governor was doing. That they said it came to replace and rescue our people. We don't see the rescue yet. So yeah, corruption is all in this government, right in the president's office. People traveling with him daily and day in day out. They have charges of corruption against them. Christopher Hayes Onano guy, he's close to the president, circle. He's in the news, duping people left and right. This investor came into the country here. Josh Solo took the man money, and Josh Solo is appointed ambassador to Italy. The president can tell me he's not aware of this. I'm telling you. So, when they tell us corruption, we have to think twice and try to see what the deeds are against on the fight against corruption, as opposed to the declaration they're making that they want to fight corruption, because evidently we don't see them actually doing anything that looks and feels like they're fighting corruption. Not at all.
Okay, thank you. Thanks to the both of you on their take on the president cabinet or retreat. I know they talk about drugs and other issue, but again, I'm sitting thinking whether we are in a government that is taking us for raw, or there's this mockery on certain things about the Liberian people. Today, I'm sure you've seen the advisory from the Unity Party. Um, According to them, this is an advisory to all of their partisans, supporters, sympathizers who are currently serving as appointed officials within the government of Liberia. I'm going to read a line here, and then I will start with you, Vic, to see what sense is in this advisory. They say, in preparation for the upcoming Unity Party homecoming and all associated party function, the National Coordinating Committee mandates that no official government vehicles, assets, or resources are to be used for these political activities. And in their mind is in compliance with the code of conduct, that many things that they've already violated several times. But how is the party determining to know the resource point of any government official, and, that intend to go to their function without a government vehicle? But you can take government resources. You don't have to be a vehicle, to go to your party headquarters. So I'm caught between the lines with the assets or resources to be used for these political activities. Who determine that, Vic?
First of all, what's the point? That's how I'm going to start. What's the point?
Mhm.
There's nothing going to change about that. For the fact that the timing is horrible, horrible, horrible timing. With where Liberia stands right now, with the cry of our people, with the
Mhm.
poverty level, no jobs, nothing. To choose this time, well, it could sound like, oh, this is our anniversary, and December 6th. December 6th can wait. December 6th can be postponed. December 6th can be canceled to next year, December 6th. At this time, where Liberia stand, you choose to prioritize a party over our people, and then you're saying that no government resources should be there, or nobody should use government vehicles to go at the rally. What's the point? Who you fooling? The Liberian people know who you are. You already took your party headquarters over the Liberian people. And that's something. So if you don't carry the Liberian people, you don't carry your government vehicle or resources for Liberian. We already know that Liberian people money. You guys share among yourself, and that you're going to do the rally, you're going to pay at the rally. Who doesn't know? We already know. So it makes no point. There's no point of that. Liberian people already know that they have failed the Liberian people, and they deceive the Liberian people, and they prioritize the party headquarters, the almighty party headquarters, over the Liberian people, or the well-being of the Liberian people, or the Liberian people at large. So the Liberian people already know. So we know whether you carry a vehicle, you carry a vehicle, you're not fixing anything, because from the initial stage, the timing, the way you do it, how you take it important, the things that are really supposed to be taken seriously right now, that just you just tell the Liberian people that they're not important. So all of that, I don't know whosoever decide or how they decide to do. We're not fooled by that. I would say that, and our Liberian people not fooled by that.
Mr. Namwe, so those who are heading this homecoming, the rally, are top-notch government officials. They are the guys who sit in some of the best financial space of our country. They've been designated into the respective counties where they're taking those monies that they are raising. Very huge amount of money from the county level. Now they come back to us in one advisory and say resources, of the government should not be news, but they got resources that they are generating in the thousands, to purchase the party headquarters, but government vehicle, government access, and government resources. So, I'm just blank here, and I'm concerned about the resource aspect. You could go there as a government official, and put some very good money in your pocket,
Right.
and go to the rally. You can even get in a keke, and you can take a huge amount of money from somewhere and go to the rally. The country resources has been used all over the place. It's glaring. It's been talked about. So it's not just about the vehicle and assets. It's about the liquid cash that is being raised. And
Yeah.
you put that in an advisory. I'm confused here. I want you to speak to that.
I am confused too. I think they call themselves napping because look, we have seen several instances where these people have gathered using government resources. The recent GB gathering that Vicky just talked about. I mean, all those vehicles you saw in there, most of them were government vehicles. They've used government vehicles to do all kinds of other stuff. So now
Mhm.
coming in the middle of all of this, yeah, it's very confusing. And what is coming home to you are already the government, where you coming home to? Where have you where have you been to be coming home? Why is it called a homecoming anyway?
Mhm.
But and I hope whatever money there is, they can donate that money either to Universal Liberia or give it to the food bank or something, maybe people might, begin to feel a little better about this. But, in the midst of all this hardship, women crushing rocks, to send their kids to school, they're trying to gather to raise money and build headquarters. I hope that is not, the purpose of this gathering, because the optics are really bad. And so this press release really is to me is out of place. It's difficult to understand the purpose that it seeks to serve. I mean, like we're saying here, there are so many things they've done, so many times they've gathered and done so many things using government properties. On this late day to come out and issue a directive, telling people don't, not to use government, I mean, it really, I think they cut themselves, like I said, I think they cut themselves napping, and they're trying to self-correct here, but I think it's a little bit too late. I think people have noticed, what is going on, how much these people really have been all about themselves, you know, um, basically trying to make themselves comfortable in reaching themselves in whichever way they can, going to gather and have a good time. Yeah, we're seeing all the time they gather around and use, government properties. This is not going to be the first time. So we'll see how much, again, I hope this will not be another, handicapping themselves, self-enforced error, because some of them will still appear at this place riding government vehicles. Will see it, and people will come here and talk about it. They're not going to listen to them because the code of conduct clearly stated. Emma Stewart, for instance, cannot be party secretary general and be director of LPRC. That's a violation of the code of conduct. The ombudsman called them in since November 5th. They should have gone in. We understand they lawyered up and challenged, the proceeding, and the ombudsman stepped aside. But you can't have this kind of thing happening. It must. I mean, Tape is chairman of the party, and he's chairing the board of director of National Port Authority. It's not supposed to be that way, but there are a lot of things that these people are doing in clear violation of the law and the constitution, but they get away with it. This government is a lawless government. Vicky, you said that earlier. They don't care. They came into office removing tenure officials, going to court, filling, paying the people behind the closed door, and then doing it again. They don't care. They don't care about what the law says. So,
Yeah,
Vicky, if you want to
yeah,
come in, I think Smith is having a little bit of technical.
yeah. You said it right. You said it right. So I think what Mr. Toby was saying was oh, you are here 2 times, Mr. Toby, just so you know. Yeah, but if you're listening and you can hear us, we can hear you. That's fine. We can be here. We can be here 2 times. That's fine. If it's not a problem for you. Yeah. Okay. There you go. Yeah. So like Mr. Toby was saying, right? I'm kind of trying to get in now. Okay. We're not using the resources, the
Right.
government resources, but we are using the government officials. We are using the government officials, and these government officials got what else they're going to use for the fundraisers? The government funding. So that just is, so I don't know what difference it make and whatever. And Mr. Lambert, you were saying something like you wish, your wish is my wish too. You wish that they, with all the crying, our people are crying, you wish that this fund would be allocated, or part of the fund would be allocated for maybe hospital, or for education, or for our people, with the poverty level. But again, by law, maybe I'm just so used to a nonprofit organization. By law, if you raise funds for a particular reason, that fund should go towards that reason you're raising the fund. It should be allocated for that. These people are saying they're raising funds for the party headquarters, and according to them, people are donating money to that. I don't think if they try to do that, to take that fund, and allocate that funds for something different, they're going to be in trouble. So what you raise fund for, the purpose you raise the fund for, the funds should be the proceed, or the fund generators should go directly towards what you are raising the fund for, and not something out of what you're raising the fund for. So that got that money. We can help it. That got that money. Thank you.
From one network to the other. I hope I'm better on this one as well. But again, that's the politic of the day, and we are all concerned about that. Since in fact, that advisory is intended to see how they will conform without using the government vehicle. They've taken those vehicles to all of the counties, and they've been raising money in the counties. They've been having GB Festival.
Yeah, they've been
They were
doing
in,
that. Yeah.
yeah, they were in Lofa raising money for the party headquarters. Government resources were being used. Government vehicle were being used, and knowing very well on the day of the uh, activity itself, taking government vehicle to the side will be at their own disadvantage because their own partisans and sympathizers, some may get disgruntled. You're trying to save the vehicle, but you're not saving the money of the country. So you rather put the money in your pocket, make your way there, keep your vehicle home, and prevent the vehicle from being smashed or banked upon, and, for the sake of your own interests. But that's how it's going to be. So let's go back a little bit and talk about the issue of the Liberian Senate, that noise as to the earning. In time past, Liberians have always said our lawmakers are making too much money. I'm sure Mr. Belity has also been raising similar issue.
Mhm.
They take home a lot. They got gas. They pay them for trash car. They pay their allowances for their homes. You wouldn't believe the man living in his own house and government is paying him for that, giving him fuel and generator. So there's a whole lot of different things that that comes with their job in terms of their benefit. All those monies come from the Liberian people, taxpayer money,
Mhm.
out of their own conscience. Some will want to accept. Some are saying no. They've been taking 8,000 monthly, besides some of the other benefits that come, in the package. Today, Senator Dillon thought to again play smart on their intelligence, and he put forth a bill that was being read, and you could hear the noise of rejection. Who was on it? Who was on it? That Dial one, Dial one was on it.
They say who had debates.
Yeah, who even had debate about that? Dial one was on that bill. So we're thinking about where this issue of the Liberian people interest is. And, how are they looking at representation and the interest of the Liberian people? Is it time now that they make 5,000 or below 5,000 instead of taking 8,000 as it is being stipulated in the budget? Let me start with Mr. Nangbe, and Vic will pick up from where you stop.
You know what, Mr. Toby, and these are some of the inconsistencies we talk about as Senator Dillon, right? You wonder his intent, the seriousness with which he's pushing this. I mean, he has been in the legislature for quite a while now. He knows why people like Yeket Koluba is not doing anything in the House because Yeket has not been able to build consensus around anything, and Dylan knows that. In order to get anything moving in the House, whether it's the Senate or the House of Representatives, you have to have support. You got to build coalition. Vicky was talking about that again earlier. The capacity to build coalition. You got to build coalition and build rally support to move anything in the House. Dylan knows he wants to move this bill. If he really genuinely wants to move this bill, I don't think he would have gotten that kind of reaction there if he had done his homework. And so, yeah, you wonder whether he really is just putting on his show, knowing very well he's not going to get anywhere with this. But of course, trying to make the claim that he tried, and I think this is all this is. This is. I don't think he's going to get anywhere with it, but this is a serious matter. The CMC has recommended that in our reaction to the budget as some of the ways we can save money in this government, by capping the salary of government employees, not more than $5,000. And the Senate and the House, we could start from there. But I doubt whether it's going to get anywhere. I was disappointed. I heard my own friend Joseph Jala, Pato. Pato is from the student activist community. He's from the University of Liberia. We all being in the streets. He became a lawyer and all of that. He fought and failed so many times until he finally, with the CDC support, won this seat. And now he was one of those who were who were on the floor shouting, who was signing, So I don't know, Senator Dillon, he has work to do, but from the look of things, from the presentation we saw today, he's not going anywhere with this. he needs to go back and do his homework if he really seriously wants this bill to pass. He has to build coalition around the bill. He has to try to build support, and he needs to do that, including calling on some members of the opposition to support him. They do it everywhere in this country. They do that all the time. They call that, bipartisan support across the aisle, whatever you want to call it. But you have
Mhm.
to grab here and rally support before you can move it forward. I don't think he's done that.
Okay, Vic, you want to say something to that?
Yes, yes. I also agree with Mr. Langway. He needs some sort of team building. You cannot just start like that. You don't jump in the middle. He need to talk to people. He need others to come on board with him. He need to at least make sure he recognize, like couple people that would have his back, that would be on the same page with him before. And then he needed to do, like, he just needed to do a lot of, background work, background check, to that before passing the bill. You can't, things like that, you don't do it in rush because you already know. You cannot do it alone either. You could just see what happened today. So he need to go study that. And then when you want to do such, you cannot start, like I said, maybe he didn't do a lot of research. You cannot start with 37.5%. It's almost almost close to half. And they're going to crush you. So I think that he needed to do some research, do some collaboration, build some team around that will support, the idea, and brainstorm it very well, before the bill is passed. But the way I see them, the way I saw they came on him today, it was something like, oh my God, if just introducing the projection is like this, tell me about the actual debate. How is it going to be? Like, it's going to be even more, it will get more nausea, and I pray that he be successful. But yeah. And then again, just because people are like that and they will not agree doesn't mean that we should come up with the idea. I think it was a nice try. I will give you that one. That was a nice try and a great attempt. Thank you.
Hmm. Okay, so so now I will come back to you. We'll stay around that for the next few minutes because again, the try, like Vic rightly said, was a nice try. Um, should the citizens and Liberians who's been talking about this much money being taken home by our lawmakers now also join the support in rallying around Senator DeLong, in his advocacy to make sure that this can be actualized? Because 8,000 monthly with all of what come, with different, cuts and benefits, to them, that's too much of money. And to take away 5,000 or to put a cap around it should not be a general call. Uh, how can we support this?
I'm sorry, I was muted. Yes, I mean, Mr. Toby, one of the things we just described here, him building a team building coalition in the house, he could do that, and let's be honest, the salary that these legislators get is that's not the only issue of concern. I mean, they get, I think, $50,000, $150,000 for so-called legislative projects, and there's several other ways, they're getting money out of the piggy bank. So, yeah, Senator Dillon, I mean, you could really, I am sure there will be, I'm sure Snow might be one of those who will, lend him an assist on that. uh Probably Senator Connie, Amara Connie. So I don't know, what coalition he's building, but he needs a much better groundswell to help him with this. And yes, I'm not going to say he should go and incite people, but rally other forces, whether indirectly or so, I don't know, labor union, student union, the University of Liberia, for instance, those are some of the people who might be able to help him to build a national consciousness, help, sensitize our people, and see if we can all do, if we have to do sit-ins or whatever it is, what is required to heighten the sensitization around this issue. But we have to find a way, Mr. Toby and Ms. Sandolo, to save some of the money internally. Take out all the waste, fraud, and abuse in this government. That's one of the ways we can do it. And I mean, I don't understand why the government has not understood that going out there, carrying culture through to Japan to dance, carrying 300 people to China and all these people, and why they haven't understood that that is not where we will get the money from. There's a lot of money to be saved internally if we take
Mhm.
the measures. And like I always say here, when the U.S. government placed the stop order on usage, because of the kind of support the government got from USA. I thought that was a golden opportunity for this president to impose moratorium on several different ways of spending and rein
Mhm.
in this and help us tighten our belt. But he missed the opportunity. He didn't do it. He really
Mhm.
had a good excuse to cut a lot of the spending in the budget and saved a lot of money. He didn't do it, but instead, he's still continuing to increase the size of government. He's creating new commission. There is this new cyber. There's a new, he's creating, adding additional employees to the already over 70,000 people that his government employs. I mean, this
Mhm.
this $9.2 billion budget, only $280 million is going to development. Almost over 80% of the budget is going to recurring expenditure.
Mhm.
Jolly Jolly, gasoline, scratch car, charter jets, and all of that. How do we expect to make any progress? So the people he's going to go and stretch out his hands, they do their research. They research the country. They see how we're living here. You can't be sleeping on waterbed. They you go to somebody how you say to them, give you hamburger to eat. They say, wait a minute, how'd you buy the waterbed you're sleeping in? They're not stupid. So they do their research and they see how we're living here. They see how we enjoying ourselves. And then we go there and tell them, oh my man, I can't pay my people's salary. The people say, are you serious? First of all, I'm a sensitive. I don't make $8,000 a month. Your people. So my point is, we need to first take focus inwards and do some real serious saving. Like what Dylan is supporting, I think what Dylan is proposing is a good bill. I'm sure you will find support in the CMC as well. You need to find a way to build a stronger coalition around this issue. I think it's a winning issue for him.
So you just mentioned the CMC. That I was thinking about what role because I'm sure our political leader, our ability is also concerned. And again, like you said, teamwork
Yeah.
will make it better. And so, can we say that this is one thing that the CMC will want to also join in to see the possibility of having that pass? Because at the end of the day, it is all about the Liberian people and it is their interests that we are talking about. Vic, what is your take on that?
I would say, when it comes to CMC, the Liberian people, it's all we have. And it would take CMC to do anything for the Liberian people. And specifically, let me refer to our political leader, Musa Hassan Beriti. So once it's about Liberia and it's about our people, Honorable Musa Hassan Beriti is willing to collaborate with anybody, especially if it's something that will benefit. If it's something that would benefit the Liberian people, I would say he would be in for that. So, like Mr. Namwe said, it takes collaboration. Not only collaboration, it also takes awareness. Like getting the university students involved. Giving some awareness to it and making it known and making it heard. It will help too. Like let people hear and then give the value of it. Let people to know how it's going to impact the Liberian people in the country. So I would say it would take some work, but it would take group effort or team effort to make that happen.
Mr. Nangbe, can you further elaborate on how can the CMC in this quest be a team player?
Yes, I mean, look, I agree with Ms. Sandolo. In spite of Dylan's childishness, trying to say his educating ability. I think ability is not the kind of person who will take this kind of thing to heart. I really believe that the 6 or 7 months I've gotten to know Musa ability closer. He really, I think he rises above this kind of pettiness. So I don't think, Dylan trying to say quote unquote educability on how to move the budget and all of that. I don't think it's going to stand in the way. This is an issue that the CMC holds, close and dear. We intend to push that issue. And so I believe one way or the other, if Dylan were to approach the CMC, I think he will find support within the CMC. We have, the political leader is in the House. I don't understand the process, how the House and the Senate can collaborate on a matter, but I think a bill can be raised through the both houses, and I think it can be put through. We have, besides Honorable Ability, we have Honorable Marvin Cohen in the House, we have an Honorable Jerry Yokel. We have a couple of people in the House who I believe, who come to his support. So, like we said, he needs to find a way to build that coalition. It can't be, an issue that he wants to champion all by himself alone. I don't think he's going to get anywhere with it. But he needs teamwork. He needs collaboration. He needs association. He needs to reach out. And I hope he has been doing that. But I believe he will find support within the CMC in the House of Representatives. I don't believe
Oh,
we have any senator yet, but I think he will find support with the CMC.
okay, so we are slipping away now. Time seems to be chasing us gradually. I
Yeah.
got one final point I want us to talk about. Is going to take us to the end of our conversation here this night and your time. I want us to do justice to this bread and butter conversation. The Liberian people, the government of the day, the issue of bread and butter seem to be, uh, a phrase now. But how do we identify those bread and butter issues? Because people just say bread and butter, bread. Someone think that the Fuller man selling bread and butter somewhere, in our Liberian setting, if we are asking the government to tackle the bread and butter issue, specifically, what are we referencing? What are the issues we consider as bread and butter that we think government of today, government of yesterday, government to come needs to address? Vic, what is your reading and understanding of the bread and butter conversation?
So, well, we all on here are Liberians, and we have Liberians watching too. Yeah,
Yeah.
now all Liberian watching. So usually, to my knowledge, what I
Mhm.
know, growing up, every time bread and butter is used, is figuratively used as a good time.
Yeah.
So bread and butter just refer to a good time, like another word Nigerian men would say jolly jolly, like fun
Mhm.
time, good time. It's bread and butter. So there was time that I even asked myself, I'm like, bread and butter is not that tasty. It's just bread and butter.
Right.
So
Mhm.
why like we find that figurative way to say bread and butter is riches, is everything that you have, everything you enjoying. But anyways, that's our Liberian colloquial, and that's our
Yeah.
Liberian something. So when the people talk about bread and butter, if they're addressing the government as bread and butter, or yeah always been that just means it's always been about them. They don't care about the common people. I mean, it's all about the current not bill, but the current budget right now. 80% is in favor of the government of payroll. That's
Mhm.
bread and butter. I consider that bread and butter. Where people are concerned about people getting gas card, people getting all the resources from as a government official, and not thinking about agriculture or healthcare or education. That's what I understand the whole bread and butter. So it's all jolly jolly. It's all bread and butter in the favor of the people. I mean of them instead of the people. That's just how I understand. So when Liberian people crying, the way Liberian people started bread and butter thing, forget it. I don't know where is that man, UG Facon. He once said, anytime you hear the Liberian people singing steady song about you, that means your government done. So I don't know where Facon is right now to come here, but all the bread and butter thing that been going on. All the
Mr.
bread and
Dambi,
butter thing that been going on. The rescue puppet, they rescuing themselves. All these things are in song now, and the people are singing it. So is that a sign that they fail? Because that was his big. That he was really big on that. That watch
Mr.
out. Once that people start
Okay.
singing for you, you done.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mr.
that's right.
Nangbe, Mr. Nangbe, let me pull your legs in this one
Yeah,
as well, because when we hear bread and butter, people say that the reference to the day-to-day activities that the common people out there should be able to afford.
yeah,
People should have food on the table. People should be able to send the kids to school. The health sector should be vibrant. Resources should be made available. We should have jobs here and there, but we should not create millionaires in the face of the suffering masses. So how do we interpret what is your own interpretation of this bread and butter issue? Because people are now knocking on the snow conversation, you know as to the bread and butter conversation. People say
right.
the government should address the bread and butter conversation. So what is your take on this bread and butter conversation?
Well, basically, it needs the government creating the conditions so that people can make ends meet, creating conditions where we can afford the basic necessities, be able to put food on the table, creating conditions, for instance, with the prices to be affordable in the market, price of gasoline, price of food, being able to send your kids to school, be able to send your kids to the hospital. Those are the pocketbook, the bread and butter issues. Basically, the ability to afford the basic necessity. The government must be able to create that condition. People should be working. The rate right now, the rate in Liberia is going down, but prices are not. And so people are ending up paying more than they were paying before. When they were 200, the same prices are about the same thing. So those are the affordability to have the ability to afford a decent living daily. Those are the bread and butter issues. I think that those are the issues that matter. The issues that matter to all of us on a daily basis. Those are the bread and butter issues, and those issues are very clearly defined to put food on the table for your family. If
Mhm.
you have school going children, children of school going age, to be able to send them to school and pay their fees. If your child is not well, to be able to send them to the hospital, you know, and be able to, Christmas is coming, be able to put something aside and buy something for your family, celebrate your 26th, basically living, being able to make ends meet. Those are the daily, the daily issues, the bread and butter issues. Affording life, at a basic minimum, and being able to put bread on the table. So those are the, when we say the bread and butter issues, basically, that's what we're talking about. To be able to provide for your family, you know,
I'll stay
everybody
with
wants.
you. I'll stay with you, and then we'll come back to Vic.
Yeah,
So why is it difficult, for the government of the day to look at those issues? And, we know that there are challenges here and there, but if the people are the people with the power, and
yeah,
the people voted you because in your request to them, you've come to help provide them with settling in on some of those bread and butter issues. What
that's
are
right.
we finding it difficult for these issues to be addressed? Why is it difficult, Mr. Dam?
So it is cyclical, right? The government needs to raise revenue through taxes. For taxes to go up, you have to have people working, paying taxes, right? People buying, spending money. But you
Mm,
cannot spend the money if you don't have the money to spend. You have to be
mm,
employed. And you don't have to be employed by the government. You can be self-employed, but you have to be generating income. The government has to create those conditions for the people to generate income, but this government is not doing that. And in many instances, the taxes are going up. And so in this country, when we're going through recession, they give us stimulus check. It doesn't mean the government is being nice to all. They just free-handed. No, they know when they give you that check, you're going to buy things and pay taxes into government revenue. They generate taxes, and that's how they generate money. So they make you feel good in the process. You also make the government functional. The government of Liberia needs to find a way to generate revenue. They're not generating enough revenue internally because not many people are paying money, are making money to buy stuff, to pay taxes. That is where the problem is. So you every time they cast the budget, there is a shortfall because they expect to generate revenue from so and so, whether it be importation, whether it be taxes on goods and services. But the income is not being generated because not many people are working to spend money. You pay taxes when you spend money. It's not happening, and so it makes it very difficult. And so whenever we say they have to create a condition for people to work, you have to create a condition for people for employment, gainful employment, for people to earn income. When people earn income, they will buy stuff. When they buy stuff, they spend money, they pay taxes, government generate revenue, government has a bigger pot to spend. So is it cyclical? One depends on the other. But our government is not creating, they're not creating jobs, but they have a tax bill to contend with. So they never have enough money to pay others. That's why they owe domestic, they owe people. So now 2, 3 months, they're not paying salary because they're not generating sufficient money to be able to pay the people. Then they increase the tariff on importation. So some of the people are importing their goods through other ports, like Port of Guinea, and bring the goods in. The government is losing income on that because they want to raise the taxes. They're not generating enough. So they want to, make a high buck. But in the process, people are, evading those taxes, going to other places, and government is losing. So they have to be smart about it. They have to find a way so that they generate revenue. They're not generating sufficient revenue to keep up with expenditure. To do that, they need to increase the tax base. Many people need to be able to earn money and spend money. That's how government is general. I'm a chemist. I'm not an economist. I'm sure other economists maybe they will have a different version of this. But basically, the government has to be able to generate revenue. To
Okay.
do that, people have to be buying stuff. The buying power in our country right now is very, very small because not many people can afford to buy stuff.
All right. So that is from a chemist.
Yes.
And when
Yeah.
we ask an economist, he will give us
The
a clearer
different one.
picture.
The difference.
So Vic, let me come to you in your professional stand to give us your understanding as to why we are, always talking about something that we all should be contributing to.
So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. This is how I look at it.
Okay.
I know we spend a lot of time talking about the budget.
Mhm.
We only talk about the expenditure. But something that we're not talking is what Mr. Namu just touched based on, which is the revenue. First of all the money we're talking about, where are we getting it from?
Yeah.
How do we generate this money? How does money come about? Looking at like the whole of Liberia, only one company I'm looking at. So I don't see what the revenue are. It just actually reminded me. How can we raise these funds? How can we
Yeah.
get this money
Yeah.
that we are even arguing about, that we're even talking about? At the revenue aspect of the budget is not even clear.
No.
And how I see is the reason why you say how can we how what can we do to make the bread and butter situation effective? I
Yeah.
see a circle. A circle like any other circle, like a water circle where something get dry and then you vibrate, go up, it come back again, and then or you burn a child, something like that. That's what I see. So the government is right there. The government is not collaborating. The what we said, we've been talking about it, is not collaborating with other private entity to hire people. The government feel that they're obligated to just just creating jobs for just creating government jobs. And when you're creating government job, you have no revenue. You are spending when you create government job.
Yeah.
Because all the people that you are appointing, that you are hiring, you are paying them. So these people, how can the bread and butter stand out there when the circle is just circulating around? You hire me, you appoint me, and I get paid, and I take the money and I buy. So it's not enough money that going back to the government because it's
Yeah.
just few people that are higher. The government needs to just do away from, you know, appointing or giving government. It's not all about government job. It's about time. We have said this thing. And the good thing about the Joseph Boca government, they are so lucky. They are so lucky that the first time the budget business came about, our PL, political leader, Musa Hassan Bediti, when he made that press statement about the budget, he didn't just say, "Oh, the budget is not okay," it's one-sided. This man actually had a breakdown as to what can we do, how can we rearrange the budget, what can we do economically to improve the economic system, to have bread and butter on our people table and stuff. He explained everything that he said. He pointed out his stress on agriculture. What can we should pay more attention. And he didn't just say pay more attention to agriculture. He said how this fund should be allocated and how this distribution should be made in the agricultural sector. He explained everything. We are literally helping you. We are telling you this is what you can do to succeed.
Yeah.
But they are not listening.
No.
They're taking it as opposition talking or opposition against them.
Yeah.
I wish I was in that position and I'm getting all the critics and especially constructive ones that, oh, you can do this to succeed. Yeah, I wish I were in that position. I would do exactly that. Even if on a try and error, I would try that to see if I can be successful. But they are not listening. That one making things hard. It's about time that they start paying attention to the private sectors. Let them start engaging other people and have a deal with them, percentage-wise or whatever it is, and start talking to them to start hiring people. People that need jobs that waiting in line. Then start making contact for these people. The labor ministry need to get to work and work in collaboration with the president and start getting people hire other places or appointed other places instead of just government. The more people you appoint in the government, the more money you spend. Your expenditure becomes more and your revenue is nowhere. That's why the big traveling, they come with empty plastic bag. So if we can start doing that, it will be fine.
Let me just add real quickly, right, Smith?
Yeah.
If you're listening to what is happening in the house now, the SOE, the state-owned enterprises, they're not contributing to the budget like expected. LPRC, for instance, was supposed to contribute $5 million. They only contributed $700,000.
So
and because they got a cronies in there, that buddy with, hey, my man, I get it. What I'm saying? They're getting the brown envelopes as opposed to putting the money into the pot.
Okay, so we are closing now, but tomorrow we'll talk about something very interesting, and as we close today, we are all thinking about it. Rich country, poor people will be our major conversation tomorrow. So my interest will be on the country that is rich, but has poor people. While we got all of the resources that God has given us, from gold, diamond, bauxite, you can name all of the different resources that we got in our country. We're bringing people here to do money, but the country itself and its people are suffering. Tomorrow we will look at that specifically with other issues, but we'll talk more about our resources. How is it being managed, and why, as a country, we are yet to benefit from those resources? And who are the direct beneficiary of our resources? That will be our very outlining conversation tomorrow. You can do your research about it. Do about bomb mines. We'll talk about Lamco. We'll talk about Salamita. We'll talk about all of the different industry that is doing in our industrial sector, in our extractive industry, and why this country, with all of the resources, we are still the way we are. Vic, I will come to you in a minute to close up. Thanks for sitting tonight. I like the hair. I like the blue, and you are glittering tonight. Like I don't know how to describe it, but Mr. Nangwe, why are you smiling?
Sorry, Mr. Toby. I'm typing. I was going to give a shout out to Dr. Richardson. She's supposed to be taking a break, but she's busy typing and she's praising the show and all of that. I'm telling her, I thought you were supposed to be taking a break. But, thank God she's encouraging her. That's why I'm smiling. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Please go ahead, Vic. Let's close.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for the compliment. Like I said, I like it. Don't be surprised tomorrow. I can't hear with long one. So
Okay.
the hair can grow overnight. Because it's like a man.
Wait, it will grow overnight. Anyway,
Yeah,
let me start out with my super mouth.
I will grow the hair overnight.
Black
So
magic.
yeah,
I
I
know,
want to say
right?
yeah, I want to say thanks to you, Mr. Tobe. Yeah, the show started on time. That was really awesome. Today it was really great. And Mr. Nangwe, when I came, you guys were all prepared. We jumped right into it, and it was a really good show and good discussion. I want to say thank you so much. And before I close, I forgot something today that really made me feel really, really good today. I watched a video today. You're helping with the place name. The name is Soha in Bonkante. Um, oh my God, I think Lofa. It's somewhere around the border of Guinea. What that place that the PR went and did the rolls and the breaches and why they playing it? They playing it is really hard. And where
Quadro bunny, not quadro
quad of
bunny.
body. Say that
Quadro
again.
bunny, yeah.
I need to write it down. Please send it to me
Yes,
because
quadro.
I need to
Quado
listen.
body. Quado
Quadro bunny.
body.
Peter, Smith
Quad
will tell
body.
you because he went there with the Peter. He will spell it for you.
Yes.
Quado body.
I
Quadro
watched that
bunny.
video today. I know we have been sitting and saying things like, oh, yeah, the PR is doing this. We've been seeing some, we've been doing this. But the person today that actually pointed the development that the PR is carrying on and what his PR is doing, today it was the most detailed video to ever watch. I was enjoying the video until I didn't want it to stop. When it started, I'm like, oh, man. I was watching, yeah, I was watching that guy and he was driving. And now that he's driving on the road that the peer has paved. He's driving the road and explaining how the condition the road was before it was the way he's driving. I mean, I'm talking about the road looks so clear and paved to the extent that I don't even want quota there. I feel that quota will ruin it. That how perfect it was. And then he was driving, saying how it was this, and he was on another road, and they make a turn on another road that may have been just a frontage road or just a narrow road. And he explained how that road was a small road, and now it's a big car road, and it's smooth as this drive. He's talking, he explained it, he giving the details, and they drove all the way to the river. I don't know if it was St. John or St. Paul, whatever river it was. They got there, and then he started to interview the people there. And then I saw a kind of sick put together ferry, and he started interviewing the people, and the people are so happy, and they attested to the development that the PR is carrying on, and they look forward to the PR building another bridge across there. I think it's a part of the agenda. It's actually in the plan, and they're planning. So I was looking at it. I'm like, this road that this man is actually making is not just any kind of road. Those are road that goods and services can just pull up across and go to the market. Is so smooth. So I just want to applaud again, man, the CMT political leader, and I want to say thank you to everybody, Mr. Tobe. You guys are doing a really good job over there. And while you over there, we are here too. We are doing good. I was really impressed by that today, and I hope that the plead we will be able to to meet up to the needs of building bridge over the river they were asking today. And I want to say thank you to everybody. Tonight we are sorry we didn't read comments. I think
Yeah.
yeah, I
We
sometimes
get
in
it.
the chat.
Yeah, we tell them.
But one Liberian girl, you've been on fire tonight.
Yes, yeah. Really, really
All
be
the
on fire.
compliment. I know you as CMC for real. And other people, man. Yeah, thank you so much. We cannot read all the comments right now. We're sorry that we didn't read comments today. Mr. Toby was carried away by the discussion that we have been hearing. He was on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
I want to say thank you to everybody, USA team, everywhere, global, Liberia team. We are getting there. Thank you so much.
Thank.
And Mr. Pierre, bravo. Thank you.
Thank you, Vic. Thank you, Mr. Nangwe.
Yes. Vicky has said everything. I would just say thank you to you and thanks to the CMC as well, to the PL, all, CMC, all the stuff we're doing, even the haters, even if Musa Hassan Belete were in this thing for himself. What about the road that he's talking about? You're not going to take the road, away from him, even if he didn't want to do anything. So, I get up in the morning and I read all these little funny comments, the jealousy, the envy, and all of that. But, I think the larger the larger population appreciates what the CMC is doing. I mean, like Vicky said, you should have listened to the poor in bomb when we were having this thing over the Jaw River Bush. Those people came out. Our people are known to be afraid of government, but those people came out and made their voices very, very loud and clear because they appreciate what the government, what the CMC is doing for them. And so I just want to say, thanks to the CMC and thank you all tonight. Thanks to Doc. I know she's watching. Should I take a break? Let me say shout out to Doc and shout out to Dr. V. He should have been with her. I think Marsha was supposed to be with her. I hope they're okay. But again, hopefully we'll be back here tomorrow. I think you guys are on the schedule. I think I'm on a break tomorrow. I'm not sure. Because I was supposed to be on a break and then I'm here, but
today when Dama said talk, I said
I jump in tomorrow.
I suggested to Dad today that she should hook you up. Right now you're becoming an international analyst.
There you go.
So you almost on every different platform around, and your being here is very important.
And every time he's on here, you can hear from this. They come and say, "Oh, you're here too."
I know, right?
Yeah. So we are trying to.
But it's an honor, pleasure. Is whenever I'm here, I feel happy. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks to the both of you. Let me say thanks to all of our viewers and those who've been following us via radio. Tonight, tomorrow, we'll be specific. Rich country, poor people. Our resources will be under the spotlight on tomorrow. I'm sure it's going to be the full house. On Thursday, Mr. Jacob Jala will join us. Moving forward, we expect to do some adjustment when necessary. We'll let our viewers and audience know. But again, I'd like to say thanks to the team tonight. Thanks to Dad who was in the back and following us as well. Tomorrow, same time, same spot, we'll be back here. Thanks for viewing. Good day, good night from my end, and see all of you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Where's Ansu to close the show?
CMC, for the people, by the people, and to the people. Citizens Movement for Change.